got some Lego here. It's some Thanos, some variation on Thanos. So I thought I could tuck into this while I talk to you. Is that all right? Morning. So basically, my sense of self is crumbling. It's decomposing. It's dripping down, oozing into the neighbours below, and it stinks. There's a smell. I recently engaged in a brief yet fiery and passionate rekindled love affair with Bionicles.
Bionicle. Each set sold separately.
Those sort of Lego action figures, they're discontinued now, but they were brilliant. They had lots of lore, they had a couple movies.
Coley head, you could have been Makuta Bones.
There's a woman on Portobello Market, which you may be familiar with if you've seen Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, and she sells all sorts of old toys, including Bionicles. And for months and months and months, I'd go past her and go, look, oh, there's a Bionicle there. That's nice. I remember those. And now that I have this craving for Bionicles, I haven't seen her. She's nowhere to be found. It's just like the thing with the bus, right? The thing when you want a bus, there's no bus, but when you do want a bus, there's... When I was a kid, there was this guy who had a stall on the market, and he sold puppets, beautiful, handcrafted marionette puppets. And we'd always ask him, how can we find you? How often are you here? And he would say, I'm here every Saturday when the sun shines. And I haven't seen him in years. I had all sorts when I was a kid. Do you remember Furbies? Atrocious monstrosities. But you probably don't remember the short-lived sequel, let's say, to Furby Shelby.
There we go.
Who was sort of a Furby clam concoction that didn't do well, funnily enough, because a big part of the appeal of Furby was that it was furry, and Shelby was a plastic shell. I had a bunch of Action Men. Remember those? The most aggressively hetero toy line ever.
But Action Man Boomerang Extreme really throws his 3 working boomerangs! Man, the greatest hero of them all!
I swear they were indestructible. I remember me and my friend Alia spending a good day trying to destroy the nemesis of Action Man, Dr. X, to little avail. We drowned him, we burned him, and still he would scream. It's a thing I do. I become intensely passionate about specific things for a brief period of time, and then I move on. I had it with Drag Race, I had it with the Bionicles, and right now I think I have it with the Democratic primary. Like, obviously, I care a great deal about the future of one of the most powerful countries in the world, and I feel like it should be in the best hands. But I also do just enjoy checking who's got the most points every day. Does each person have a finite amount of love to be doled out to things and people? Like, can you be spread too thin in terms of the love you give out to the world? Is it better to like a few things intensely, or is it better to like loads of things a bit? I don't know. There he is, our dear sweet Thanos, our good friend. Wow. The MCU. Ultimately, I think I just distract myself from the torment. My good friend, the Torment. I'm sure you've met him. How would I rank the MCU movies? I mean, there's like 30 of them. I definitely put Guardians 1 and 2 at the very top, followed by the Avengers, and then a little lower down I'd have Infinity War and Endgame. And then the rest in some order. Did I ever tell you about the time I got mugged? Yeah, I got mugged. I did. I was 13, sat on the top deck of a double-decker bus on my way home from school. I was listening to Lost in the World by Kanye West and Bon Iver.
Lost in the world.
and suddenly one of my headphones descended from my ear. I quickly realized it was because one of the guys behind me had thwacked it. He'd knocked it out of my ear to get my attention. I turn around, he asks me simply, "What phone you got?" And I tell him, and I say, I don't know, I think it's like a 3GS or something. And he said, okay. My friend here, he had a friend with him, needs to use your phone to put a number down. The story made no sense, and especially since he opened this whole rigmarole with asking what phone I had, which surely, if his story was true, would be entirely irrelevant. I went along with it, and I gave him my phone, and they proceeded to continue this charade, pretending to put like a number down from his BlackBerry onto my phone. And at a certain point of just pathetically watching these guys steal my phone and not do anything about it, the original guy who knocked the headphone out of my ear, he just said, "Get off the bus." And I got off the bus and they took my phone. And I was really upset. I was crying. There was a woman having a fiddle on her phone at the bus stop where I got off. And I asked her, "Hello, can I please call my mum? I've just been mugged." And she said no. She just said no. Like, I was a 13-year-old private school boy in the most horrendous, oversized school uniform, right? Bleached blonde hair, perhaps the least threatening creature on God's green earth. But yet, no, she didn't trust me with her phone. So the worst bit is that after this happened, my two friends who got off at the stop before me told me that they'd overheard the two guys saying they were going to mug me before it happened, and they did nothing. So truly one of the greatest anime betrayals ever. I spent hours shooting and partially editing a video about all the Star Wars movies, and I'm just so sick of Star Wars, and I was so sick of listening to my own voice. When I was working on that Star Wars video, something that really made me laugh was I stumbled upon some gameplay footage from The Force Unleashed. There are a lot of like what if scenarios. You can basically kill all your favorite Star Wars characters.
Chewie!
And near the Mos Eisley Cantina from A New Hope, you can murk Obi-Wan like a dog. You can murder one of the wisest, most powerful characters in Star Wars in the most obscene, brutal way. You impale his ass, and then his Force ghost comes back, and then you kill his ghost. Surely that's just about the least Jedi thing ever, right? To die and then immediately come back for revenge. I know where this is in the story, you know? Like Obi-Wan has only recently hooked up with Luke and Han and Chewie. You know, he's been out of action for a while. He is not expecting to be attacked in broad daylight by a demon. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to go out like that. But it really made me laugh. It really made me laugh. I just fear I haven't got much to say to you or to anyone. Of course, there was Lego. Always loved Lego. I actually used to have a Lego stop motion animation channel, and honestly, those little films are the first time I ever properly thought about filmmaking. You know, shot composition and storytelling on a very small, literally small level. And some of them are actually all right. I did one called Lego Suicide, which is the most miserable, morbid thing I've ever made. I think I've been reaching for that level of emotional honesty ever since. One day I'll get there. There's still lots that makes me happy, and I like that. It's not like I hate myself. I don't hate myself. I just don't know who I am.